Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Quarantine Conversations, brought to you by the SCSU Athletics app located on any app store that your device has. I'm Alex Cotter, and with me today is head coach Sean Holmes of the men's soccer team. Coach, how have you been doing, and what have you been up to during this quarantine?
Well, I would say this was the most interesting way to start a program from scratch. It's been good. We moved to town. I came in February, went home after a month, came back again in July full time, and we've been going almost. I guess we're in month 3 now. Guys got onto campus, I guess mid August when school started, and we're now. We did it slowly, but we're now training 3 times a week, and we're making some progress.
Tell me a little bit about your background and what's kind of led you to SCSU.
Well, I've coached for 25 years. I was a college coach. I coached at the NAI level as an assistant Division One, and worked my way up to being a head coach Division One. And when I left college coaching 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't know that I would be back. And Heather Weems, with whom I worked, our athletic director, with whom I worked at Drake, called me when they were starting the program and asked me for some help to help find her a coach. And after many odd conversations, here I am.
All right. What's it like coaching a newly formed soccer team in the middle of a pandemic?
I think the hardest part is that you have no established order in the team. You know, usually you have a team and you fold in new freshmen and new players, transfers in every year. This year, every day is from scratch. So when you get to training, there's nobody who has done it before. There's no one who sort of really understands the expectations, what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, in a regular team, you'd have, I don't know, 5 or 6 seniors who would help sort of dictate the tempo and the standards for the group. And so for us, every day when we roll out to historic Selkie Field for training, it's very fresh. So it's been fun.
Yeah. And what precautions has the team been taking so that everyone's safe during practice and training?
Yeah, well, we've been very, very disciplined about our social distancing. Uh, you don't have the same kind of huddle that you used to have. You know, when you bring everyone in to talk, it's a little more spaced and seems a little bit more peculiar. And we've done a lot less, I'd say, one-on-one stuff. You know, things where we would have contact and kind of guys in more close quarters, we've more or less eliminated. And probably the biggest thing is that our guys have been really, really disciplined off the field, right? The school does a terrific job of taking care of the guys when they're in the cafeteria or classroom or anywhere on campus. I think we've been pretty good about it. But the thing that I won't take credit for, but I'm happy about, is that, you know, all of our guys here are new. They don't really know a lot of people, so they've had less opportunities to socialize. So I don't think their college experience has been exactly what mine was, or perhaps yours was like as a freshman a couple of years ago. But the guys have understood the importance of it, and they really wanted to play, and they understood what they had to do, so they did.
And with not having a season, how have you been taking advantage of you know an extra year? You kind of get an extra year recruiting, extra year practice. How have you been taking advantage of that?
The biggest advantage for us has been that we don't have to worry about winning games. I know that seems odd coming from a coach, but we have focused every single day on player development and on what I call sort of culture development, you know, program development. And we've spent very little time on team development. If this were a regular year, we would be in, I don't know, the 5th week of the season. We would have just played 2 games this weekend, taken a massive drive back from somewhere, perhaps in Michigan, and then get ready again this week to get ready for 2 more games. And when you're doing that, you're sort of preparing, recovering. We have none of that to sort of, I want to call it the distraction, because games aren't distractions, but it's nice that every day is like, how can we make every guy in our team a little bit better? And so it's been teaching, pure and simple, and that's been really enjoyable and gratifying.
And then how have you been able to maybe do a little bit of recruiting while this is going on? I know high school soccer in Minnesota is still taking place. So how have you been able to reach out to new recruits?
We've got out to a couple games around the state. My assistant is from Minneapolis, so he's been down in the cities watching games occasionally. And then I've been scouting the Central Lakes Conference because we've made a big effort. We've got guys on our team from Brainerd, from Austin, from Marshall, from St. Cloud, from around the state. We've made a really big effort to have a Minnesota roster, but it's not just the Twin Cities. We're trying to get around the state. And as it happens, my son plays here locally as a junior for the Tech Tigers. So I go to every game. I go to every high school game with two hats: one looking for players, two cheering on my son. So I sometimes have a little Tech Tiger scarf on, and then sometimes take it off when I'm in business mode. So there you go.
Yeah. And what's kind of the biggest message that you're going to be sending your team here? You're going to have it's kind of an extended off season. What's kind of the message you've been sending your team, of how to approach this?
Well, we've concerned ourselves with a couple of things. Traditionally, guys are really overwhelmed by the amount of travel and the amount of training that happens during the season, and sort of the mental energy that you expend in games or around games. They don't have that. So we've put a really big emphasis on academic stuff. Like, listen, you have a semester where you can really, merely 2 semesters, where you can get yourself, get your feet under you. And then we've just spent a lot of time on fundamentals. Like, it's sort of a never-ending preseason. If we had lost a game last weekend or 2 games, we would be addressing specific concerns this week. How do we fix this in preparation for what comes next? That doesn't exist, when you don't have games to kind of sort of measure yourself against. So every day it's like, can we work on sort of the big theme for the last couple of weeks really has been all about simplicity. When you've got 30 new guys from bunches of different programs, and junior college guys, and 4-year transfers, and high school seniors have come in, you've just got to kind of lay down a foundation of how it is we're going to do things. And the guys have been tremendously receptive. I come home from practice every day super happy.
Well, that's definitely good to hear. And that'll do it here for Quarantine Conversations, brought to you by the Huskies Athletics app. I'm your host, Alex Cotter, and for head coach Sean Holmes, thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Alex.